This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great to have you joining me here in these online lessons. This is lesson 8 in this series that's coming out on Saturdays. We're working on jamming in the pop, folk, rock, blues styles, and so fun. I love doing this sort of thing. Now, when the series started, we learned the most common form of the minor pentatonic scale. We've learned extensions to that, and we've used that to improvise over various chord progressions, vamps, different styles using that minor pentatonic scale. Then in the last lesson, we learned how we can use that same scale form to actually play the major pentatonic scale. And we need the major pentatonic scale when we're playing over pop and folk style things that are in a major key. When we're playing something that's more blues or rock oriented, we can a lot of times play right over the top of that with the minor pentatonic. We get sort of a bluesy element that way. But here, when we're playing sometimes in major keys where it's more the pop style, the folk style, we're really hearing those major chords and not wanting the same bluesy minor sound superimposed over the top of it, we need to use that major pentatonic scale. So we worked on that in the last lesson with a chord progression in the key of C. In this lesson, we're going to look at that in a new chord progression with a new groove in the key of A. In the next couple lessons, we'll work with the major pentatonic as well in other keys. So it's going to be great. I also have some licks for us. So as I start off, I'm going to show us these licks, kind of help you get inside the major pentatonic a little bit more. Most of us, I think, find that playing with the major pentatonic is a little bit harder than playing over the minor pentatonic. We just have to sort of get inside those chords a little bit better, and we have to change where we're resolving things to, so it can be a little challenging. So I've got some licks for us for this lesson and the next two lessons, as well as we work in these major keys, working with this major pentatonic sound. We're going to continue to use this one form and get really comfortable with it. Then as we progress in this series, I'll actually show us there's 5 different forms we can play all along the fretboard with. So lots of great things to come, and this lesson is going to be awesome. So as I start off, we'll work on those 3 licks, and then we'll jam together using the form, the scale form, over top the backing track that I have for us in this new groove that uses the chord progression that I've got up here on the board. So lots of fun things. Let's just go ahead and dive in. Now, before we look at the licks specifically, let's just take a look at the form and remember where we're going to use it, how we're going to use it. For the key of A, so the roots for the major pentatonic have the squares around them. This, of course, looks the same as a chord diagram. So I'm going to put my pinky on the A on the 6th string that's at the 5th fret. That's how I find the key of A. If we were playing the minor pentatonic scale, it would actually be the F sharp minor pentatonic scale. So now I've got my pinky instead up here on the A, and when I play through this scale form, I get the A major pentatonic. In review, the major pentatonic has the root, the 2nd, the major 3rd, the perfect 5th, the major 6th. Those are the notes of it. Now, we can turn it into a major blues scale by adding the note with the star there, which actually creates a little flatted 3rd up to the natural 3rd. So I had to add it in there. Now, this is the same note that we would add in the minor pentatonic form to create the typical blues scale. So makes it easy in that regard, except that if you're really used to playing with the minor pentatonic, or as we did, we worked on it for 6 lessons here together before starting the major pentatonic, we're kind of used to doing licks and ideas that resolve in that key. Now we need to have our licks resolve to the home note, or that note of the key that's going to be right there with the squares around it. That's really the goal. So we've got this one here. If you need to review that and just get used to playing it, if this is the first lesson you're jumping in on, you'll want to just get used to that, and then you can practice with that extra note if you want. When I use this extra note in reality of playing, I'm usually resolving one way or the other. That kind of thing. Or of getting that flatted third in there. On the right side, I've drawn the extension that we had worked on. And so this note is going to match up with this note here. So it's kind of drawn. That's a little smaller, but it kind of is drawn there. So you can start lower. The thing about this particular key, the key of A, is that these would be open strings. So those are our open strings. So with the open strings, it might get confusing. On the low end, we probably wouldn't use it, but on the higher end, if we're sitting up here with the A, you can slide up 2 frets and play up higher. So you just want to practice on those top 3 strings, finding those notes, and you just slide up. With this string, you can slide up with your index finger from here to here, or ring finger from here to here. And then we do have that extra blue note in there. So with that, and having those under our fingers, let's go ahead and take a look at these licks. Now down in the description below, there is a link for a free copy of the sheet music in PDF format. It's got these 3 licks on there. It's written in both standard music notation and tablature so that you can figure these out. So you can go ahead and click on that, download that. I'm just going to go ahead and play through them and demonstrate them. Okay, let's take a look at this first lick. With these, you're going to see the slurs written over the top, which is where we're going to do hammer-ons, pull-offs, depending on whether we're going from a lower note to a higher note to a lower note. You'll also see some places where you've got the little dash in between, just a solid line, and that means we slide. So as I play through these, they're sort of written in. Of course, you can take them out, or you can add more if you want to, but there's lots of slurs thrown in. There's also some places where we're playing more than one note at the same time. So those are some things to watch for as I demonstrate each of these licks, which I'll do at different tempos. So I'm going to play this first one nice and slow. You'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, rest. And I'll take it a little bit faster. 3, 4, rest. Pretty cool. Let's take a look then at the second one, which starts off with a slide there, sliding from the 4th fret up to that 6th fret. So, and this one has some of those 2 notes. So those are things to watch for besides any of the slurs. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll take it a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's look at the third one. Starts off with those 2 notes together in the little dotted quarter. So I'm going to go 1, 2, ready, and. A little bit faster, we'd have 1, 2, ready, and. So these are some ideas that can kind of get you inside of playing with the major pentatonic in this key, get those fingers happening. Now let's go ahead and jam together over the backing track. So the backing track for this lesson uses this chord progression that I have up here on the board. So you're going to have a measure of A, then a measure of F sharp minor, measure of D, measure of E. That's going to happen 3 times. That line is going to happen 3 times. Then we're going to have D, A, D, and E. And then we come back to the A, F sharp minor, D, and E. And then it will repeat. And of course, once it's repeated however many times it does on this particular track, it'll finally end on A. That's our tonic chord. That's the key that we're in. And that's why we're using the A pentatonic, major pentatonic scale to play over this. Now, this backing track, like all the backing tracks that we use in this lesson series, are available on the channel for you to jam along with as much as you want to without me. Here in the lesson, you get to jam along with me, pick up some ideas, and have me demonstrate some things for you. as we play together. So that's the value of us jamming here together. But this backing track is available on the channel along with all the other ones that happen for this lesson series for you to play along with as much as you want to. There is a link in the description below where it will pull up the video that has just this backing track. And then there's also a playlist that has all these backing tracks. That has the pop, rock, and blues jam along tracks that we've been using that I create for this lesson series. So those are there. Now with this one, we're going to hear 6 beats on the hi-hat. We got a little break there, and then we will be in just jamming. So that'll help us get into it. All right, so let's go ahead and jam. Okay, awesome, super fun. At least I hope it's super fun for you. I love doing this sort of thing. If you find yourself frustrated, it just means you got some stretching happening. We all go through those challenging moments, but you keep working at it. It gets easier and easier, becomes more and more fun. So that wraps us up for this lesson. We've got some things happening here in the key of A with the major pentatonic. In the next lesson, we're going to look at the key of D. We'll have a new chord progression, new style, new backing track to play over, some new licks, so some new things to keep helping us get down this major pentatonic sound, get it under our fingers so we can just jam over anything that we want to. That's kind of the goal as we keep playing. It's just super fun to do this sort of thing over lots of different styles. We got the Monday, Wednesday lessons, which are jazz lessons. I got Technique Tuesday lessons coming out on Tuesdays, Theory Thursday lessons on Thursdays, and of course there's hundreds of lessons that have already been released on the channel. There's method books, lots of different ways to get help with playing the guitar. So keep having fun, keep at it, take care, and we'll see you again. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.